Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Bishop, the Tier 5 British SPG. It's located on the southeast spawn of Fjords, and it's under the command of hossballs. And we've got a 2 replay video for you. Now, it's a 4.5 inch howitzer, capable of 450 alpha, 28mm pen, and the standard reload is 12.37 seconds. You can see hossballs has got it down to 10.08. Now, I think what he's doing at the moment, tactically, is to get into a position where he can hit multiple places from one spot. Now, he's actually sitting in that little grove in between the houses. The houses could obstruct him, but he does have good fields of fire on the enemy tanks that might reach that corner, or the ones that might actually go past the pass. In fact, actually, we found an enemy tank to the north. One of our spotters, our light tanks, has found a Wolverine. But this is where he can actually hit this and the south west corner of the map, the southern pass. First round in, I think he thinks the enemy tank's behind the rock. We do have a few tanks nearby, such as the Matilda, and they might spot the enemy. One quick shot at the Wolverine. Of course, we aren't absolutely sure where that Wolverine is, but the enemy Jackson just took out our Valentine AT, so he must be within sight of our teammates just behind us. Okay, he's decided to pull back because nobody has gone to the south corner, and that means enemy tanks are more likely going to be coming through that gap towards the cap area. So we do have to move away. Oh, and the first tank to come in our direction is actually a fast medium, the Panther 3 Aslains J. Now, he's not going to get spotted from here, but he might be spotted when he just gets around that corner. No, he hasn't been seen, so he's okay, he's safe. Now, he can either go behind that house there, or we can go behind the bushes. The bushes are a bit open, but if he gets behind this building here, should be able to shoot over the top of it at the enemy tanks. And that Panther 3 is actually getting quite close. Although he does have a large number of our teammates all saying, we want the kill. Okay, that T-34-85 looks a very juicy target. He's using the building for cover. And that's a bit of a mistake, because that's going to happen. 162 for his first shot. 2 critical hits, probably the tracks. And oh, he's taking a lot of damage. No stun, of course, because it's below 150 millimeters. Anything below 15 centimeters, you're not going to get in stun. And around this artillery is around 114.3 millimeters. So no stun, but a very fast fire rate. Okay, another enemy tank's turned up. It's an Air Mix 13 FL11. That's that premium tank that Wargaming gave away for free. Rounds out. Oh, and that was an easy kill. Yes, hossballs is very good at dialing in on a specific target and then nuking it. At the moment, we're 3 up on the enemy. They've made some pretty fatal errors by sending guys in. In fact, I think almost it was like a trap that that was baited with hossballs in there. Although, to be honest, he didn't expect that his teammates would not go in to the south corner. But the enemy just came through the south corner, and then, of course, they've been taken out one by one. Even that enemy T-34-85 just got taken out by a Leopard. We're 4 up on the enemy now. It might be a good time for hossballs to try and get a little closer. Well, he can't get the shot on the Stug, but he doesn't have to worry because our Stug Fear managed to kill the Stug 3 Aslains B. Now, we might be able to push now and get through the middle pass. The Stug 3 on our team is holding the north end of it, north of the triangular water pond. And it looks like our teammates are actually moving up the other side very rapidly. And I think that's now because they are desperately short. We've got a Wolverine way up to the north. Now he's hiding behind the rock. Hossballs is dialed in. He can get this guy. He can take it out with 1 round, but the guy moves forward. He knew a round was inbound. And he's out the game, so there's another one fallen. So, there's only 5 enemy remaining. Well, one of the enemy tanks has been spotted across the river, the M10 RBFM, and he's hiding behind a rock, which is making it very difficult for our VK3002M and the Panzer IV Aslains getting close to the enemy cap. That Valentine AT is probably protecting us to a certain extent. I'm pretty sure that just across the field there's enemy tanks waiting. You see an enemy Jackson's gone around the corner, so yes, they're responding to the VK and the Panzer IV. Okay, now we've got no shot because as much as we would like to get a shot over the mountain, it's so high that we can only shoot if we've got a high enough trajectory. Now he might be able to get a shot now. The rescue appears to be green. It only works though at some certain objects. He fires around in T78. Oh, big hit! 462, that's a penetrating shot. A high roll. Now, can he get another one in? He fires, and you see he pulls back, and we don't even get to see what happened. We don't know if that hit. There was no explosion as far as we can make out, so he might have actually hit the enemy. And because he pulled back the way he does, we didn't get to see if it was a kill or a hit at all. Unfortunately, it's just the way that hossballs plays. He doesn't like to see enemy tanks damaged, so he tends to pull back after shooting because he doesn't want to see an Arty hurting a tank. The thing is, he doesn't do it all the time, which indicates that it's definitely a psychological thing, but there you go. We can't change him. He won't alter his play to show us what he's actually doing. So we have said to other players that if they do this and they keep looking away, we can't do the videos. We used to be able to control the camera in the past, but we just can't do it now because unfortunately Wargaming has decided that they're not going to allow us to take manual control of the camera. So we can't go to a free cam. It's almost like he's driving in battle assistant anyway. You can see that. Another peculiarity of hossballs. But he does have 3 marks on his bishop, so yes, you have to make allowances. Oh, that's kill! The T78, the last remaining hit point, so he obviously did take a hit, even though he actually had lost most of his hit points from that very big penetrating shot. Well, we're down to just 2 Arty versus a tank destroyer and 2 Arty. Unfortunately, our teammates just got wiped out one by one, and one of the culprits was the Jackson. The enemy team is a Gorilla, an SU-122A, and that Jackson. On our team, we've got the Bishop, which of course is hossballs with 2 kills, and an SU-122A. The Jackson is just to our left, and he's seen us. Now, can we get a shot? Oh, he snapshotted around right in, and the Jackson was taken out. But we did take a 90mm round from that Jackson, and now he's hiding behind those silos, which is really good because they block any shot coming from the Gorilla, but he's got a fairly long reload. By the time we come out from behind these silos, he's going to be reloaded. Okay, so who's going to be the better snapshotter? Well, my money would be on hossballs because he is a very good snapshot. But then he's had plenty of practice in the Bishop. Fires one quick shot in there, trying to guess where the... Oh, the Gorilla fired! He's actually given away his position. So we now know he is near the rock. Fires another one in. Again, he looks away after, or pulls back. And there's the SU-122. Well, he can get this guy straight off. Just line it up. That's it. Looks good. Oh, guys, he knows how to hide. And we've been stunned. Okay, the SU-122 knows we're stunned, but we will get a kill shot on this guy now. Oh, he didn't get it, but he did badly wound this guy. And he's got a long reload, the SU-122A. Unless, of course, he's got one of the smaller calibers, and now he's out the game. I kind of had the feeling that he did have the 152mm howitzer, and that's why it was so slow to reload. It's not wrong to use one of the lower caliber howitzers on the SU-122A if you want to get more shots in. Doesn't quite have the punch of the 152, but the problem is, of course, that long reload on the SU-122, which makes it very vulnerable if you fired your shots and then you've got nothing less to play with. Okay, so he's trying to fox this gorilla by going around him. The gorilla doesn't have much of view range, so he can sneak around. Now, can you see him? No. So you're guessing where the guy might be. View range on the gorilla, by the way, is 260 meters. So he's fairly close to 260 meters. At the moment, hossballs is actually working out where he is every time he fires. So the moment we see the tracer, then we have an idea. And he's probably firing the moment he gets any indication of where hossballs is. Got our SU-122, the other side. He's in the cap, and more than likely the gorilla's going to try and get a reset on that SU-122A. In which case, the moment he fires, then hossballs is going to have a shot. Of course, the other indication that he might be there is if the tree goes down. If he's accidental, and you can see a tree already has been knocked down, but I think that was a little while ago. That may have been when the M10 RBFM was behind there. Of course, the wreck for the M10 RBFM is in there. You can just about make it out. He went right to the back before he got taken out. So he was probably trying to use the bush mechanic. I'm pretty sure that gorilla is salivating at the thought of actually getting a defender medal at the very least if he gets the reset. Of course, we can't be certain that he can see the SU-122A, but I think it's possible. Remember, it's 260 meters, and it's about 2.5. There he is! So he had to get close to spot where he was. Rounds out. Oh, and it's a kill shot to win the game. And we almost capped out. That would have been nice for the SU-122, but it didn't happen. Here's the end of battle results, and that was the first class tanker for hossballs in the Bishop. He managed to get a counter battery fire medal for taking out both enemy SPGs in the game, as well as a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, 1/3 of the enemy team, and 1 short of getting that top gun, as well as a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. And on top of that, he got a bruiser medal as well for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 13 in that game. And his win rate was 5,577. Let's have a look at the team scores and see where he was. Well, sadly, he missed out on getting the highest damage in the game. That Jackson was really deadly. He not only picked up a Radley Waters medal, he got a high caliber and a top gun together. So, yes, he managed to get the kill on that Jackson finally. But I think that's really because he was so badly damaged. And 1 round for a Bishop is going to go through the armor of a Jackson, simply because Jackson's a very thin skin. So, yes, he was lucky that it was the one that he hit at that moment, because if he hadn't have got the Jackson probably would have got him on the very next round, and that would have been his 9th kill. Mainly down to the fact that he already had taken a 90mm round from that Jackson, so he was about to die if he didn't get it right. And he got it right the first time and killed the Jackson. So he got the highest damage, 3,335 hit points. Second highest damage went to the Leopard on our team, who got an Orlix medal, 1,561. The Orlix being the medal for killing 2 tank or tank destroyers with a light tank in at least 1 tier higher than their own. He's tier 5, and this was tier 6 game. And also the third highest on damage was hossballs with 1,353. When it came to kills, it was the Jackson who did the best. 8 kills to him, 5 kills went to hossballs. So just one more and he would have had that top gun. And then 2 kills went to the Leopard, the VK-3002M, the Stugvier, and also on the enemy team, their T-78, which of course, hossballs got that one too. So yes, it's when it came to base XP, we're top on that one, or rather the Leopard is top with 833. The VK-3002M got 761 and hossballs 721. We look at detail. 18 shots fired. You only actually get 39 rounds in the Bishop. So, yes, he didn't even use up a huge amount of his ammo. He just used some of it, 2/3. 9 direct hits on the enemy, 3 penetrating shots, and 5 splash. Damage of 1,353, of which 731 were at more than 300 meters. I think the Jackson was very close when he hit him. In fact, he was just to his left, basically. He just turned, realigned it, and hit. He received 1 hit. It was a penetrating shot. It was a 90mm round as well from the Jackson, and he was lucky to survive it. He also received 2 hits by way of splash damage, and both of those came from the enemy Arty. In fact, I think both of them came from the Gorilla in both cases. 1 enemy vehicle spotted. I think that may have been the SU-122A. 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and on a free-to-play account, he actually made a loss of 8,081 credits to the game. And 721 experience points out of it as well. I'm afraid his teammates kind of let him down at the end of the game, because although they seemed to have the advantage and they were basically blocking the enemy, and there was only 5 of them left, they were blocking them around their cap area and forcing them into the corner. The Jackson was really lethal, and the other enemies managed to whittle them down. It came to the point where all of hossballs' team just basically fell apart and just left him to carry the baby along with the SU-122A, who obviously wasn't as experienced as hossballs. But in the end, he came through and won the game for them. So let's have a look at the second replay featuring hossballs. The second replay is on the Sand River map, and it's Sand River Encounter, and we're on the west spawn. 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of the howitzer. The hull of a Valentine II tank. The same ones went to the Soviet Union to support them right at the start of the war when they started running out of tanks. They sent a load of Valentine IIs by the Northern Passage route over to Murmansk, and they went straight to Moscow to defend Moscow from the Germans. There were Valentine tanks and Matildas at the Battle of Moscow. Now, he's getting very close to the enemy from this position. Actually, although there is a risk that the enemy tanks might get close, it's actually quite a good position in terms of being able to lob shells onto enemy tanks from all directions, especially considering it's an encounter game. I'd actually go the other side of the river, so I've got the north bank protecting me to an extent. Look, from this position, he is able to hit loads of enemy tanks. He fires 1 quick round at the Chinook, doesn't get a hit, but look at that Churchill 1, very vulnerable. Just wait for the reload to go in. 10 seconds, 10.08, and he gets a big hit on the engine deck of the Churchill 1, and he's pulling back. He didn't like that. Now, can we do the same to the KV-1? Well, he's decided the Chinook's worthy of killing. And that's a kill. He didn't look away from that one, so we got to see exactly how he could do it. Now, which one's he going to go for next? Churchill, rounds out. He did try to pull away, but he still gave us a look at what he did. Now, can he kill the Churchill? I think he can do it. Rounds out. Yes, that's a kill. 2 kills now for hossballs. Now, can he do the 2.6? I think it's going to take more than 1 shot, but he fires the round in. The guy stops suddenly. Well, some instinct must have told him that you have to stay still for a while. Now, work out where he's headed. Let him drive through the spot that you've aimed. Now, do the same to the KV-1. He's a lot slower on his reverse, so he might be easier to hit. Okay, we're loaded. Rounds out. That's a hit. 2 hits. The other RT in our team is a Leffy. The 105 FH-18B2. otherwise known as Fifi La Pew Pew. That guy's tracked, and he's tracked again now. 50 hit points. Keep racking them up. Rack 'em, stack 'em. Rounds out. Another hit, and that's a kill shot. Landed on the engine deck, and that's the end of him. Now, there are a couple of enemy tanks near the cap, and we're being asked for help. And another one goes down, the T6 medium this time. Okay, this is going to be fun because we seem to have a large number of enemy tanks, slow-moving tanks near the cap. Bounce out on the T1 heavy. Another direct hit. He's just under 1,000 hit points already. The next shot should take him over 1,000. Just waiting for the reload. Yes! Perfect. Just under. Okay, he's waiting for the reload. Now it's firing blind. He's guesstimating. Now somebody is in the cap area, and it's a case of guess where they are. Now we've seen the situation before. In fact, sometimes we've actually practiced this one because it's difficult to hit an enemy tank that's hiding in the bushes unless you can send somebody in to spot them for you. Okay, well the T1 Heavy is just outside the cap, but somebody is definitely still inside the cap. And there he is, it's the Matilda, just been spotted. And that's a reset on him. There's still two in the cap though. So somebody else is not spotted. Where are you? Well, he gets another reset on the Matilda. Now, where's the other one? There he is, he's the other side of the cap area. Hiding behind the building. That's why he wasn't spotted. We're loaded. Rounds out. I don't think we got the reset, but we did set fire to the KV-1SA, I think. Or did we? No, we didn't get the fire either, although it's a lot of people firing at that KV-1SA at the same time. That T1 Heavy takes another hit. There's only 5 enemies left, including their 2 Arty. Going for another shot. He's tracked. Well, he's tracked again now because he just got whacked. He fixed his tracks and then got whacked again. In fact, that is the way that most enemy tanks are actually taken out during World War II. They'd be immobilized by either a mine or an artillery barrage, and the crew would have to leave the vehicle on the battlefield because they couldn't stay in the vehicle because it would get direct hits and they'd be out the game, they'd be dead. So they actually did abandon vehicles simply because they were tracked. And then, of course, Arty can really go to do its work and take out the vehicle that's still remaining. Well, there's only 4 left now. 2 medium tanks, which are a T6 medium and a Matilda Black Prince. We've just lost one of our T6 mediums to their Arty. They've got an AMX-13AM and a Gorilla. I kind of get the feeling that Churchill is going to try and get into the cap as quickly as he can. Force the enemy to come to us. Well, we can see where one of the RTs is. He's located north of the riverbed. I think it's actually, the shells seem to be arcing into the village from the north bank. We'll see that when the next shot comes in. You can see the tracer coming from the left side of the screen, going to the right side. Oh, T6 medium sneaked up. It was one quick snap, but he got him. And that's his 5th kill. If he can get one more, he's got himself a Top Gun. Okay, the Cheeky just took a round from the Matilda Black Prince. Okay, go to work on him. Rounds out. Matilda sneaked that one. Managed to move forward and then quickly pull back to avoid being struck. Rounds out again. We're getting closer and closer to him now. It's a creeping barrage on the Matilda. Okay, working out behind. That's it. Rounds out. Gets the hit. This time it works. Line it up. You're sitting behind that house for cover. Ready? Rounds out. That's a hit. Okay, so there's only 3 enemies left. There's 4 left on our team. We've got 2 in the cap. It now looks as if the Arty's got a little bit closer, though. And, of course, Matilda Black Princess. Oh, we lost one. We lost the Cheeky. And, again, it's that AMX-13AM. Now, those who don't actually know, there's a member of What Arty Noobs who actually owns an AMX-13AM, the real thing. Yes, he actually bought one and he's renovating it. It's also one of the most interesting vehicles to... Oh, that was a penetrating shot and armor piercing, I think. It's also based on, because it's based on the AMX-13 hull. Oh, and another hit. That AT2 is being taken out by armor piercing rounds, I think. Yes, I was trying to say actually, because and the AT2 goes down. So now it's just 2 Artys left against 2 Artys and that Matilda Black Prince. Yes, I was trying to say that the AMX-13AM is also a very good Arty to mark if you can, because although it takes a lot of effort to get the shots accurate, once they are very accurate, they are very much like the 105 FH 18B2 in its accuracy and its rapid fire rate. So it's not quite as fast to fire, but it's fun to say the least. Now we're going in as spotter for the Fifi on our team, who's way back at our spawn area. Problem is that Matilda Black Prince is probably going to take at least a couple of rounds to take down. And the big worry is that the AMX-13AM might get some accurate shots on us whilst we're spotted. We have to go in and find him. There he is. Okay, go for the shot. Take it. Yes, good hit. We only lost 7 hit points from the shot that came back. It was an HE round. And the Fifi on our team came through for us and they killed the Matilda Black Prince. Which means now that hossballs can go into the cap area and force the enemy Arty to come out and find out where he is. He's too slow to drive to the enemy Arty. They need to drive to him. He can only do 24 kilometers an hour, so he's relatively slow. And there's the gorilla. God, he's close. And that's a decent shotgun. And the AMX-13 hit us. The Fifi gets the kill on the gorilla. But we did take a hit, and we've lost our gunner. The AMX-13 is very, very close now. Oh, that was so close. Okay, there's the AMX. Line him up. That's it. When he tried to snap, it didn't quite work as I expected, but he needs to pull back a bit so he can open the range. But he wants the shotgun at close range, and he gets it. And that wins the game for hossballs. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for hossballs in the Bishop. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 17. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. And yes, he got a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. His win rate from the game, 19,762, which is very high indeed. Super Unicum and a lot more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage was 2,708 hit points. The second highest damage in the game turned out to be that Matilda Black Prince with 2,610, so he wasn't that far behind. And in third place, we've got the Fifi on our team, who actually got a Confederate and 1,901 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, we can see that, yes, hossballs got the highest with 6 kills. 5 kills went to the Matilda Black Prince, and 3 kills went to the Fifi and to the KV1 on our team as well. And when it came to base XP, Yes, he actually got the highest on that as well. 1,123 went to hossballs, 1,117 went to the Fifi, and 1,026 went to the Matilda Black Prince. So 3 players actually managed to get over 1,000 base, and one of those was on the losing team as well. So he did very well, even though he failed in the end to win. In fact, I suspect that the reason why the Matilda failed and fired HE at hossballs, he thought an HE round would take out the bishop straight away, but he aimed at the hull of the body. And of course, the hull of a bishop is actually a Valentine tank, and it's very strong on armor, which is why the HE round didn't do any damage. Whereas if it hit the superstructure right around the gun, then it would have taken the bishop out completely with just one shot. So there you go. The Matilda made a big mistake. He fired an HE round at a bishop and suffered the consequences and got taken out. Let's have a look at the detail report. Oh, I should just point out, by the way, he did get the top in all 3 columns to hossballs. So well done on that. He got 33 shots fired in that game. You only get 39 rounds of ammunition, so he only had 6 left at the end of the game. But luckily, the last round he managed to fire was the most important one of all. 21 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot. Now, any guesses to which one he penetrated? Yeah, I think it is. It must be the T6, not the T6, the AMX-13AM. There he is, yes, 231 hit points from a direct penetration, and that won the game as well. Let's have a look at the rest. 22 splashes, 2,708 hit points of damage, of which 1,862 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits, 2 hits by way of splash damage as well. The 2 hits really were the HE rounds that came from both the AMX-13AM and the Matilda Black Prince. And again, fired the wrong ammo. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and 375 hit points of damage assistance. He got 10 capture points and 62 defense points, so he wasn't that far off getting a defender medal as well. Now, he did suffer a loss from the game of 18,554 credits, but I guess you can put that down to the auto resupply of consumables, because he actually suffered 40,000 credits loss. Yes, well, sometimes you just absolutely have to use the food in order to speed up your reaction time, your reload. It just makes the whole Arty so much better, and therefore the cost is a little higher. 1,123 base XP as well. So a really good game there by hossballs, which won the game for his team. He fired the shot that earned them the victory, and it aced tanker as well. So congratulations there to hossballs on 2 really good games. In fact, the last one actually came in only a short while just before I was about to produce this one as a standalone. But it was actually quite nice that we had 2 really good games by hossballs to showcase his talent. And hossballs kind of reminded Klaus to put this in his pipe and smoke it, because he was saying, well, Klaus was saying that the bishop is really difficult to play. In actual fact, it's not. It's all about practice, practice, practice. And that's how you get 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of your howitzer. It's just by knowing how it works and making it work for you. So well done to hossballs. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.